In our work, A Drone Teacher, Designing Physical Human-Drone Interactions for Movement Instruction, we present exploratory studies to further the research area of tactile human-drone interaction. Touch is a very useful and desired characteristic in human-robot interaction, yet it is underutilized in human-drone interaction. Therefore, we set out to understand how physical interactions can influence the communication between a drone and a person. Visual methods, such as flight patterns, projections, and lighting, have limitations due to changing lighting conditions and very limited lighting conditions. Whereas auditory methods, such as following the sound of the drone or Bluetooth relaying a message to the person to convey an instruction, have limitations in noisy environments. Therefore, we explore the areas of interactive drones in virtual reality, drone on-body docking, and tactile drone guidance in order to guide our research and explore the ways in which physical touch can be used for communication, specifically in movement instruction. Our contributions are a new application for drones, design considerations for how to physically communicate instructions, specifically for movement tasks, and insights on people's comfort level and perceptions in physical human-drone interactions. Our research questions are: where on the body and in what way do people feel comfortable being touched by a drone? How do people naturally infer communications in physical full-body human-drone interactions? And what physical interactions allow a drone to successfully communicate a pose instruction to a human? To explore our research questions, we first designed our interactions by conducting observations of movement instruction classes and doing pilot studies. We explored possible physical interactions and prototyped and tuned these interactions. To explore our first research question, we conducted a study to gauge people's comfort level with the drone interacting at different body parts, and a free-form portion to understand people's natural interpretations of certain movements. In study 2, we refined our interactions based on study 1 and conducted an initial evaluation of success to see if the drone could in fact use physical touch to instruct a person into a new pose. From our interaction design process, we came up with 2 categories of movement which the drone could maneuver, one being instantaneous, the other continuous. The specific interactions were guide, which were directly inspired by how dance instructors corrected their participants, tap, which is inspired by how people get one another's attention, and slide, which was inspired by the drone's motion capabilities. Tap represents instantaneous movement, and guide and slide represent continuous. This is a demonstration of tap. A demonstration of guide, and a demonstration of slide. We observed 7 different contact points to understand where people felt the most comfortable with the drone interacting on their body. We modified these contact points slightly for slide, as the drone had to remain in contact for a longer period of time. We conducted a Wizard of Oz style study where we used visual feedback in order to ensure that the drone was starting at the same location for each participant and that the interactions were as consistent as possible. We recruited 12 participants for a within subjects test and counterbalanced the order in which they experienced the different interaction modes. Our reported Likert scores from the participants are here. We found that the outer arm was the most comfortable region for the drone to interact with. As far as which mode people found most preferable, tap was first, as it seemed more decisive and that it was drawing their attention. Slide was second, as the interaction seemed calming, good for spinal alignment, but it was confusing for certain arm movements. And guide was the last, as people thought that the interaction was very light and therefore made it a bit unclear, though people did interpret that it was trying to draw attention. Changes between study 1 and study 2 included increasing the speed of guide to match the speed of tap, modifying tap so that it could work with dynamic arm movements, and excluding slide based on the feedback of it being a bit confusing for movement instruction. We had 4 different poses that the participants were instructed by the drone to get into for guide and for tap. We recruited 14 new participants for this study and again completed a within subjects test. This is an example of guide in practice and tap in practice. We found that on average, tap took more time to correct a person into the right pose. It had to contact the person more times, and more people failed to reach the correct pose with tap than with guide. Some examples of failure included participants moving their arm to the correct position and then moving it back to the original, or participants resisting to move at all. We found that participants highly preferred guide over tap, and some points of confusion included that they didn't know how far to move their arm with tap. Some complaints were that the drone correction process was too slow and that the noise of the drone was too loud. Another interesting observation we saw is that people said, I didn't need to wait for the drone to touch me to know what to do. Other interesting behaviors is that people would follow the drone even once it broke contact. Some people moved before the drone touched them, as noted. And some people moved both arms, even though the drone was only trying to interact with one. To summarize, we present a new application for drones, physical interactions for pose instruction, design considerations for how to physically communicate instructions, specifically for movement tasks, and insights on people's comfort level and perceptions in human-drone interactions. I leave with takeaways that we had from both of our studies, with hopes that other researchers will build on this exploratory work and explore more tactile instructions in the future. Thank you.